Yeah, that's true. Ben Jacobs saying that Liverpool respect Newcastle's position, and the emphatic nature of the rejection means Liverpool are still waiting for encouragement. Liverpool, like, what do you mean encouragement, man? See, again, well, I don't blame Liverpool
This is the
financially.
same Ben Jacobs who said it was a good done deal.
No, he didn't. I mean, get out of here, man. Stop lying, man. He didn't ever. Nobody. Jacobs never said it was a done deal. Nobody said it was a done deal. But hold on. By the way, Ben Jacobs and Ornstein have been killing the transfer window, so I wouldn't go against them. But regardless, Liverpool. I don't blame Liverpool, but Liverpool are handling themselves. It's just like a giant of the English football,
Which is what they are.
which is what they are. But they're not handling themselves right because they're dealing with people that are not bothered. So, and right now, the people in charge of Newcastle, PIF, are not bothered by Liverpool, right? So, if you really want something and want to show proactiveness, you just got to pay what they want. And if you don't want to pay what they want, then you just don't send anything. You just don't got the money for it. But at this point, PIF is not bothered to negotiate on something that they don't want to sell. Now you might say 150 might make them think, okay, whatever, 150. They're paying 150. And let's see if the player wants to leave. He wants to leave, blah blah blah. Then he can go. If that's the case, by the way, because Luke Edwards says if they come with 150, they might think about it. It's not a it's like a release clause where 150 is it, and then he gets sold. So they might think about it. And now at this point, they're waiting for Newcastle encouragement. Well, they're not gonna get none. Well, what's the point? They don't want to sell Isak. So I know that football fans in this regard think about it how it usually happens. Like for example, Man United go for Baliba, and all of a sudden, it's just like Brighton is supposed to turn over and just do whatever Man United want. And that's really how football has been, handled by giants. It's like the same thing. Real Madrid going for a player. I mean, it's impossible for them not to get the player. But in this case, PIF don't care. They just simply do not care. So that's why I always believe and still believe that Isak's way of doing this, it was the wrong way, because he should have just went about it the right way, trying to play his cards right, and he would have been sold probably already if we'd have played the nice boy. It would have went the nice boy route. But instead he didn't. And now you just piss PIF even more, and it ain't gonna happen according to Luke Edwards.
We've got our Liverpool supporter encouragement, which is what you're on about. Ben Jacobs saying they won't put another deal in without encouragement. And RSL is saying encouragement is you buying a replacement.
Okay, well that's fine. That's one way of looking at it. But I tell you what, if that's the encouragement that Liverpool are looking for, you might get some because we're looking to sign somebody. But if the encouragement is for Newcastle to say we signed Isak's replacement now, let's talk about how we can get rid of Isak, I doubt that's going to happen. I doubt that's going to happen at all. And I wouldn't. Again, people need to start looking at this situation as from the PIF's point of view. They probably are not bothered to pay this guy to sit on the bench.
No, I think that's apparent now.
So he's going to have to get his life sorted. And quite honestly, I do believe that Isak eventually will come back with his tail between his legs because he needs to play. It's not I guess as long as Newcastle handles it correctly, because we need a striker. So if we don't get a striker, that's going to be interesting to see how it works.
It's very reminiscent, isn't it, of the Harry Kane saga, where he was told, no, you're not going. Give us another year, and that went on for 3 years before he got his move, and he still performed. He was still knocking the goals in.
Yeah, but in this scenario, other people think they can just do.
Yeah, but I think you can liken Harry Kane's situation in terms of top class, world renowned centre forward to Isak's. And Tottenham just said, no, not for sale.
Hey, so
until he had just a year left on his contract. and then they said, right, you can go.
So
And they still got 100 million for 150 or whatever it was.
don't forget to smash the like button. It helps us a lot to keep growing. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, activate all notifications, that way you get notified every time we go live. And don't forget, you can become a member, get exclusive content, access to all of our live shows on demand at the time that you want. Also, of course, giveaways every month, sometimes multiple giveaways a month. So stay tuned for that. Check it out. Help support the channel. It's a small fee. And of course, you help us and grow. If you hate the Mackhams, smash that like button.
To save the bleeding races. When we got the wheel put on, away we went again. But them that had their noses broke, they came back our him. Some went to the dispensary, and some to Dr. Gibbs's, and some to the